Hi everyone, it's Kris Swiatocho with Intentional Relationship Solutions. Because it's important to me, it should be important to you, right? I mean, that is the foundation of every great relationship. Well, this week we're going to talk about 3 ways to improve our relationships through realistic expectations. So stick around. You know, I've struggled with unrealistic expectations pretty much all my life. I've always thought that my way was the best way and that others should too. This has created unrealistic expectations in all my relationships, including my family, my friends, my mom, and even those that I've dated. So how do you know if you have unrealistic expectations? Well, the first one is you measure others by how you would define a situation. You don't take into context that maybe they have a different background than you. Maybe they're a different age, a different life stage. Maybe they have different experiences. And because of that, it becomes an unrealistic expectation in our relationship. The second one, how you know if you have unrealistic expectations, is you get stressed out and upset when things don't go your way. I mean, you lose it when the least little bit of change that happens, the least little thing doesn't go according to plan because you figured it out in your mind the way it's supposed to go. You've got it on paper, you've got it in your tablet, you've got it on your iPhone, and everything is supposed to go just like this. And when it doesn't, you lose it. That is a really good indicator that you have unrealistic expectations in other people. As long as you're able to control what happens around you, you can control your expectations. But is this really possible? One of my pet peeves is people who are late. I don't know about you. I can't stand it. Drives me crazy. And my always thought is, why don't they just leave earlier? I mean, why can't they plan? Why can't they work on their schedule? Why can't they make sure they get everything done and set an alarm and do all these things that I do? Because the reality is I get late too. So now, while I believe that everyone should always seek excellence and everyone should always follow through with their commitments, I also realize life happens. So if you're not realistic in how you handle when these plans don't go your way, you'll constantly find yourself losing it. So what do you do about people who are always late? You can either tell them, hey, the event starts 30 minutes earlier than it does, although that may sound like you're lying. Maybe you can start the event without them. This past weekend, we all went hiking and we had someone that said, oh, I thought the time was this time. And I said, no, it's been scheduled at this time since the beginning. And well, I'm going to be late. And I said, well, the problem is we've already left and I can't guarantee you'll find us. Because where we're going, there's no cell phone. And then the third thing, just tell them to bring dessert. I have a friend who's always late. And in the beginning of my relationship with her, I used to always give her bring the ice and bring the meat or bring the bread. And inevitably she'd bring it after we finish eating. So I tried to change her. I suggested it. I got mad at her a few times. And then I just realized, you know what? That's kind of where she is. And maybe my expectations aren't real. So here's a third reason how you know if you have unrealistic expectations. Well, I kind of do this. You've set your personal bar so high because you expect it from yourself that the least comment, the least suggestion, the least it could be done a better way, you shoot it down. Nope, sorry, I can't do that. Because, I know what's best. I've been doing this for years. I have tons of experience. I've worked at all these places. I've been on all these different committees. I know what's best. I have the better solution. Do you see a pattern that it's really unrealistic expectations is really tied to control? If I'm in control of everything, then I can control not only how I feel, but how others behave. And folks, that's not realistic. And it will forever cause issues in all of your relationships. Have you ever noticed you have some friends that they kind of tiptoe around you? They stay out of your way. I remember my father was this way, my birth father, and he was very much of a tyrant and always in a bad mood. And we never knew what we were going to get when he came home at the end of the day. And so you kind of just waited to see what kind of mood he was in. But do you have friends that are like that way with you? Do you have friends that are you got to see what kind of mood she's in today or what kind of mood he's in to see how you can behave around them? Wow. Or maybe you're at the workplace and you're not unified. You have a control freak boss and all they want is everything their way and they think their way is the best way. And you just feel like it doesn't matter what I have to say. I was in the post office recently and they always ask you, fill out the survey at the end of your receipt. And I always think to myself, fill out the survey? Does anybody ever fill out the survey? What difference is it going to make? Because I still need to mail packages. And so I've never filled out the survey. And so I asked the lady at the front, does anybody ever fill out the survey? And she says, well, if they say something good, we never know. But if they say something bad, we always know. And I said, you know what? I've been coming here for 2 years and I've never had a bad experience. A few long lines, but never a bad experience. And she says, would you tell my boss that? I said, sure. She went and got her boss in the back room and he came in. I said, I just want to tell you, I've been coming here for 2 years and everyone's had incredible customer service. And he said, well, thanks. And he gave me a book of stamps, which that was kind of weird. So then yesterday I went back in and I saw the same lady and I said, what's up with the book of stamps? And she says, you know, he does that. He gives it to people who say nice things. But the problem is we don't ever know what those nice things are. And she said, hey, if you want to work at a place where you get encouragement, it is definitely not the United States Postal Service. And I said, wow. I said, you know what? I think I need to get us some donuts or order some pizza and have it delivered because, you know, they're people too. And they need to be encouraged. Or how about your family has stopped communicating? They just don't talk to you anymore because they don't know how to talk to you. Whether it's your immediate family, you know, you got kids, you might be married watching this, or, you know, you remember when you were married, or maybe it's your parents or extended family, and they just don't talk to you anymore because you're not able to be talked to. And then, okay, so who wants to date someone who's a control freak? Who wants to date somebody who they have to have everything their way? What kind of relationship is that? So here are 3 ways to help you have realistic expectations. The first one is value and respect others and their opinions. We all come from different places and it's okay. Someone might just have a different opinion of it or a different thought of the way it could be done. And you might just learn something. Number 2, take time to listen and ask questions so you get the full picture before acting like a crazy person, before jumping to conclusions. I have a tendency to not ask enough questions because I feel like I already know the answers. Or maybe I'm afraid of what their answers will be. Great communication is really important. A lot of times we jump to conclusions and we become unrealistic in what we expect from people because we simply don't have enough information. And then number 3, accept that your way may not be the only way. When we don't allow others to use the gifts and the talents that God has given them, we're robbing them. There may be another way. There may be a better way. There may be somebody that can do your job better than you. There's somebody that, you know, God is wanting to give you something else to do, but he can't take you to the next place because you're still hoarding the old place. And he's brought other people around you that have talents and gifts and ideas. And granted, they may do it differently, but it's okay. And the results may be different, but it's okay. But at least you're being realistic when you understand that you don't know everything and you don't know and can be everything in what you do. One of my favorite verses in the Bible is in Acts 2:44-47. All the believers were together, had everything in common. They sold property and possessions to give anyone who had need. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved. In this first church in the Bible, it wasn't singleness or marriedness. It wasn't big family, small family. It wasn't money or no money. They looked at each other with realistic expectations and said, you know what? I've got extra. Let me give it to you, and vice versa. Or maybe you have a better way of doing this, or maybe you're more organized and can teach me something. Because the goal was to be unified. And to be unified is you sometimes have to give in. And sometimes it can't be your way. And this helps you to have realistic expectations about the outcome of your relationships. The church in Acts shows true community that included sharing, listening, and being unified. It also shows people building healthy, intentional relationships. And folks, that's the goal. Please help us reach more singles by subscribing to this channel and liking our Facebook page. Also, if you want to order Intentional Relationship Study, I have listed the website below. Till next time, I'm Kris Swiatocho with Intentional Relationship Solutions.